The superglobal variable $_server. The superglobals that we've learned about so far: get, post, cookie, session, and now server. Here I have a file, or a script if you prefer, which shows us some of the values of those elements of the server superglobal array. Server name, it'll probably be localhost or something. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, mine says sandbox.dev. Server address, let's see what that one looks like. Okay, there's an IP address of 10.2.15. Okay. Server port 8080. Okay, because I'm accessing my virtual machine. So basically, it's reading this information from the browser. The browser is sending this header information. Or maybe it's just reading it from the URL that's being sent. Because on the machine itself, the port is 80. But looking at it from the Macintosh, which is hosting the virtual machine, the port is 8080. Okay. Document root, media SF sandbox. Okay, this one came from the virtual machine itself. Because, let's see here. My actual location for these files on the Mac is right here. Okay, so there is no SF_sandbox there. So you never know where this information is coming from. It could be coming from the server or the browser's request via the headers being sent out with the page request. Remember, there's also headers being sent out from the server back to the browser. Okay, PHP self. BTB sandbox. Yeah, that could have come from up here. Okay. But the actual location. So PHP self is the path from the root of the server, whereas script file name is the path from the root of the Unix machine. So this is the path from the root of the web server, but this is the root from the root of the Unix machine, the hosting machine. Remote address 10.2.2. Alright, I don't know where it gets these things. Remote port number. Okay, so this is the IP address of the Macintosh within my home network, I guess, or within the Mac itself. And that's the port number of the browser, that the browser is using to make that request. So my web browser, which is making the request, is making it from this IP address and this port number. I didn't know that browsers use ports just like the services on a machine have their own ports. Okay, so ports come from the requesting end and the daemon. Okay. Request URI. That looks a lot like something else. PHP self, yeah. Alright, request method. The query string, there is no query string. Let me make one. So let me put question mark E equals 1 and R equals 3. Okay. Alright. So now the request URI includes the query string, whereas PHP self does not. And then the query string itself is right here. And then, okay, request time. And I got this error because HTTP refer was undefined. And okay, so these are, they say, the useful elements of the server superglobal array. Okay, all the code here is in this script if I want to see it later. Alright, just one last thing. If you want more information about the superglobal server array, go to the man page in the php.net website. It's right here. And it'll tell you what each element of that server superglobal array can do.